I'm John, and this is Unique Wargaming. Guys, welcome back. For everyone that's new, this is a Warhammer 40k battle report. What are battle reports and what they're all about? Well, battle report, you buy your models, you build your models, you paint your models, you put them in the list, and then you play a game, and that's what this is. Now, when I say paint your models, realistically, you'll have models that are grey plastic, or that are undercoated, or that are half painted, because you want to get them on the table and use them, and you haven't had the time or to get them painted, or your painting skills are not that fast, so one model could take you weeks or a month, but it doesn't matter. You know, that's realistic. That's what happens. So for all my regulars here, guys, I put love. Thank you very much. I'll see you in a minute. Right, so today's game is going to be Adeptus Sisters of Bel. You know, sister armies on the table again. Mark's got an Aeldari force. Now, there's two things I want to say. The first thing is this sister list was put together to go against Mark's Drukhari list that he was going to the tournament with. But we didn't get to play that game because there's the things outside of our control. It means we didn't get to have a game that week that these sisters were scheduled to play. But because I put this together, I said, well, you know, I'm just going to use this. It's there, it's nice. I haven't had sisters on the table for a while, so I said, let's go for it. Now, the Aeldari list that Mark has, he has a lot of very fast units. I think there's 2 or 3 units of warp spiders. There's striking scorpions. They're not fast, but they infiltrate, and they have a kick on them when they charge you. 2 units of rangers. I think it's 2 or 3 units of rangers. I think it's 2. They have precision on their weapons. You know, they're not tough, because all toughness 3, but precision on those weapons can just ping off characters if they can see them. And then the unit loses its buffing abilities and stuff like that the hero would give them. You know, I think he's got 3 units. I think it's 3 units of Reapers, or is it 2 units of 1 unit 10, 1 unit 5, or 3 units of 5, something like that. Again, they are, you know, good at their ranged weaponry. My biggest fear is the Wave Serpent with the Fire Dragons. The shenanigans that they do, move the Wave Serpent up, 5 dragons jump out, they shoot, they're in metal range, they shoot, then they jump back into the Wave Serpent. That is head wrecking. What I need to do with that is I need to try and get shots on that Wave Serpent to stop them from doing that. They're still fast. I think they're still moving 7, and they have like a 2-inch buff that they can have from one of the Aeldari powers, so they still can move quite fast, but it just stops him from zipping across the table, dropping them out, you know, or zipping it up the table. They then jump out the next turn, blast away, and then jump back in. You know, that stops all that business. There's no Wave Serpent. There's only one Wave Serpent he has, I think. So, you know, what I need to do is army. I need to move myself forward a bit. I need to draw him towards me, because he's so fast moving. He's going to come up. I might take some casualties, lose a unit here or a unit there, but then that unit's exposed out. I can, you know, ping that unit and get rid of it. That's what I need to do. I need to, when I say take an attacking position, yes, an attacking position, but not halfway up the table, only outside of my deployment zone, to force him to come forward. If I can move up unhindered and take an objective, then I'll do that. But it's going to be very tough against his list, because when they're so fast, he can redeploy them, you know, in one turn somewhere else, because they have really high movement. you know, that's a problem that I'm going to have. If I make a punch a hole on one side of the table, he could deploy, you know, move a unit over there next turn and deploy there, and you know, with his no Overwatch ability and everything else, that's going to be a pain in the ass with Fire Dragons. So anyway, I'm going to bring you down and show you my list. I've only got one enhancement today on the Sister Palatine. I'm going to go through my list and then give you a rough idea of what I'm going to do with it. I don't think it's really going to matter too much with too much of the units I have, but I'm going to go for it anyway. Right, so leading my sister crew is Valerie. I can't remember her name is that. I call her Valerie anyway. But she's got one unit of Paragon Warsuits with her. Okay. I've got 3 Arcoflagellants. These 2 still need to be painted off camera. I've got a unit of Sister Repenters. They are going to go into this lovely contraption because they can only hold 5. These guys are going to take one flank. Okay, the Repenters and the Immobulator. I'm going to move the Immobulator. The plan is to move it behind cover and try and keep it behind cover as long as possible, and then jump these girls out and let them do their business. I have 1 Penitent Engine, which is going to be hovering somewhere plugged in, again trying to keep it behind cover just to get as close as possible. I have 2 Castigators. Now the actual body for these tanks are over in the workshop, so I just said, you know what, I've got a couple of rhinos I use for, you know, rhinos for this, but they're just going to be 2 Castigators. I'm going to try and put 1 on each flank with battle cannons, so they, you know, they can do quite a bit of damage, especially against toughness 3 Aeldari. I have 1 unit of Sisters with a Administrorum Heavy Flamer and the normal Flamer. I have the Imagifier Sister. This character gives them 4+ vulnerable save. I think that's what she does. I have a second squad, the same, but this squad has I think it's a multi-melter and a melter gun. One of these squads is going to sit on my home field objective just to generate fake dice, and the other one is going to push up. I have a unit of 10 Sacrosaints. I'm missing one of those actually, I need to find that, but there's 10, led by a Palatine. The Palatine's enhancement gives her 2+ armor save and a 5+ for no pain. They're going to go into a Rhino. Okay, yeah, there's a Chaos Rhino, but you know, don't worry about that. I have another squad of 10 Sacrosaints, led by these 2 characters. Now this character gives the unit devastating wounds. This character, when the unit kills an enemy unit, I gain a miracle dice. If this character gets killed, I gain D3 miracle dice. They're going in the Rhino themselves. These 2 squads are going to be up on flank. Okay, so they'll be up on flank, 1 Castigator being near them as well. And their job is just to take that flank. If I can get 1 unit onto an objective and jump the unit out, leave the Rhino behind them, so the Rhino is doing actions or scoring points, you know, whatever. And the other unit then will keep going pushing forward just to be a pain in the ass. In support with a Castigator supporting them, I think that'd be pretty good. And she's quite tasty in combat anyway, Palatine, because I can sacrifice a miracle dice, and her ability then, she gives them lethal hits anyway, but her ability, she gives them lethal hits. With their halberds, they get sustained hits 1 on the halberd, so they're going to be, critical rolling 6s is going to be automatic wound and an extra hit, so that's, you know, quite tasty. But sacrifice a miracle dice, and her ability becomes every time she wounds an enemy unit, each wound is turned into a mortal. Each wound is an additional mortal wound. Each wound calls, she gains a mortal wound. Yeah, so she causes 3 wounds on a unit. That's 3 wounds and 3 mortal wounds, which is quite tasty. But anyway, that's the plan. So what I'm going to do is wait for Mark to get here. We'll go through his list. Well, we'll set up and then go through his list, and then we get to playing. It's either going to be a very cagey game, or it's going to be like a big slap, you know, very fast paced because he has very fast moving units. What I don't want is him to swamp one unit with 2 or 3 units apiece, and the next turn then move somewhere else on the table and swamp another unit. But we'll see. I think he's got some swooping hawks as well, so there is quite a few fast moving units.
So I have a Autarch with Sky Leaper, or Autarch Way Leaper with Fusion Gun and a Starglaive with 10 Swooping Hawks. I have 3 squads of Striking Scorpions, one of them with Lycus, Janezar and 10 Banshees, Fuegan and 10 Fire Dragons, a unit of Storm Guardians sticking my home objective, 3 units of Dark Reapers, all with the indirect Tempest Launcher, 2 squads of Rangers, 1 squad of Striking Scorpions, and a Wave Serpent, and a Partridge in a Pear Tree.
And I rolled first turn, so I'm going to do all the movement and then come back to you in the turn to see what happens. I don't think there's going to be much happening. No. Right, so the end of my first turn, very, very eventful. Everything just shimmied forward. I kept everything in transport, so I'm not jumping out. Sisters moved up. I advanced the Alco Fledgling guys up, and Val advanced up. Everyone else just shimmied up a bit. They moved up into the ruins, ready to do what they're going to do. They're staying where they are. I should actually roll Miracle Dice for her being on the objective. Oh,
yeah.
3. Lovely. So Miracle Dice.
Counting up, which is handy. Yeah.
That's my Miracle Dice I have at the moment. Lovely. Very
good. Do you want to get rid of Mark for Death or overrun first?
Mark for Death we'll get rid of.
Discard.
So we're going on to Mark's turn 2 now.
Mark for Death. You have 3 CP, I have 2 CP.
I'm not looking forward to this mess.
I have Tempting Target and Recover Assets. Pick a Tempting Target for me.
An objective?
Yeah.
I say that one there.
This one?
Yeah. Go
on. So I drew a Tempting Target and Recover Assets. So the Banshees are recovering those are recovering assets in the middle of the table. Yeah. These are recovering assets at the back, so I got 2 for those. And then Tempting Target. So I flicker jumped some spiders up here. You overwatched them to death with Morven Val and friends, and then I just flicker jumped another squad into the same position to get it. Which kind of forced my hand in terms of play because I don't want to give Lycus away too lightly. So I was like, now that I have to use Lycus, I'm like, I want to fucking lift a shitload of stuff here instead. So I brought my 3rd unit of Reapers out. The Reapers did like a significant amount of damage here. And then Lycus tagged Morven Val's group with her shooting. Didn't do any damage, but she tagged them. And then these killed the, not Penitent Engines, but the Arco Flagellants. Yeah. The Flagellants are dead. The dragons came up. They advanced themselves up and positioned themselves in such a way that they could see the 2 Cascaders and Morven Val. They lifted all 3 of them. I used a Strat and both of my tokens to do it, but like they're gone.
Yeah. That's 3 big threats you've taken.
3 big threats gone off the table, and then I used these Rangers, the precision from their rifles, to take the Imagifier out of the
Sister Squad.
The Sister Squad, which meant that my Striking Scorpions were in a position to just go in and pick them up in combat.
Give them a tickle and that was it.
Yeah, so I picked up a significant amount of damage now.
That's the only thing I've got of any sort of value left are the Sacred Saints.
Yeah. There's definitely going to be things that do it, but like it's an uphill struggle for you from this point on.
That was an absolute excellent round of shooting for you.
Yeah.
Use stratagems and tokens and stuff, but it's still very, very good. Anyway, so on to my turn 2. Okay, so that was a little bit of a slapback on my turn. First Order Repenter Squad jumped out this bad boy, and marked down a reactive move, and instead of getting away, he actually came towards me. So we moved forward and charged into them and finished them up.
Stop you going anywhere else.
Yeah, finished them with the Sisters, Repenter. This tank moved up. Penitent Engine moved forward. Mark had a reactive move for the Scorpions, so I dare not shoot them, but I charged them with him and just killed 3. I was hoping to wipe them out. The Sacred Saints jumped out. They got overwatched by the Warp Spiders. We then moved them up and charged in. The other Sacred Saint unit jumped out, moved up and charged in, we were able to kill the Wolf Spiders and the Phoenix Lords, but at the cost of losing from the Overwatch and from combat, one squad of Sacred Saints.
Sacrosanct.
Yeah. Now it's Mark's turn 2, and it's a very close game.
Overwatch Battleshock there. You're fine. I don't think I need Battleshock anywhere else.
No.
Cool. Alright, grand. Yeah. Banshees came up, stepped up, came out with the Hawks, rolled 3 mortal wounds somehow on 11 dice. Well, 4 ups on 11 dice. Then you pass 2 of your 5 up.
Yeah.
Feel no pains. So the spiders came out as well. The spiders just minced like flames to death. Then did a load of shooting here, picked up the Penitent Engine, and then brought, between a variety of things, brought this down to 1 wound. The dragons finished it off with it exploded, which did like a load of mortal wounds to everyone around me. Then I did less than I really wanted to shooting wise into these, but like the Banshees are about to charge them, so we're not even gonna. It's like 10 Banshees. It's a lot that's gonna go in there, plus James R. So we decided to call it there, and like your -1 to wounds will have no impact here because it's anti-infantry. So
I think the Fire Dragons really swung that for you straight from turn 1.
yeah, the Fire Dragons had a big first turn. Like
they can have 3 big impressive devastating units that I have. You picked them up.
Yeah,
first turn.
They were gone. They didn't really get to do anything. So it definitely that swung the game massively. Like,
yeah.
I could see the light going out of your eyes as like they died.
But no, it's a good game. Very fast army.
Yeah, but like if they bounce, it's over. You know, they had like they, which is why like you need to like layer your strats. To be honest, actually, what swung it massively was forcing Lycus to come up. So, because her coming up means I got that 5 up crits.
Yeah.
And then that coupled with the sustained hits on the dragons meant that like I got like 11 wounds. In fact, once that was in play, I shouldn't have bothered shooting the Reapers at the dragons. I should have shot the Reapers at like the rhinos and other stuff behind.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that I should have like basically known that squad was dead. As soon as Lycus shot it, plus the dragons, it was gone. But yeah, it's interesting.
Very good.
Good old.
Holy smoking donuts. There's bloody Fire Dragons. Jesus. The Wolf Spiders moved up. They got overwatched. Get rid of them, they're good. And then the other unit of Wolf Spiders moved up. And that's where Mark actually learned there. He should have moved them up first and pinged and tagged them first of all. But then they would have been overwatched, so it's not a big issue. But there's Fire Dragons. Oh my goodness me. That is... If I had an Aeldari list right now, okay, if I had the Codex and I was running Aeldari, I would run 2 units of 10 Fire Dragons, 1 with Wagon and 1 with an Autarch, okay? Had the Wave Serpents, and I'd be doing that across the table, or even 3 units of 10, 2 with an Autarch, 2 units with an Autarch each, and 1 with Wagon, 3 Wave Serpents, up you go. And that is, I would be terrorising that. I'd probably have another Wave Serpent with some, 10 Banshees in it, say with Jinzar, and then maybe just Rangers and Scorpions around the table, Guardians, home field objective. That'd pretty much be it. But that is, Jesus, that was, in one turn, the Fire Dragons killed both Castigators and finished off the Paragon Warsuit and Val. At that point there, that was pretty much game over. But we carried on playing because the Sacred Saints, or Sacred Saints, should I say, they do have a punch to them. And they've come in and finished up the Wolf Spiders with the Wolf Spider Phoenix Lord, but they do have a punch to them. It was just at that point then the Fire Dragons were just, couldn't get to them. I couldn't do no damage to the Wave Serpent in order to be able to slow the Fire Dragons down. What I think I need to do a list where there's a lot of indirect fire. So where he's hiding away, I can just keep bombarding one unit of indirect fire until the unit's destroyed. Then go to the next unit and keep doing that, regardless of what army he plays. I mean, against Aeldari, indirect fire would be pretty tasty. Or even against Drukhari, pretty tasty because they're toughness 3. So if I'm being forced to hit and I'm strength 4, I'd be freeze to wound. So it's, you know, and most of the indirect fire weapons have, most of them have blast keyword. I know. It was actually just, and it is all because he was very fast moving. It would have been better. It would have been a totally different game if the first unit all spiders came up, they flicker jumped, and if you rolled ones for everything and killed them all. That would have been perfect because the other unit would have had to come up then, and I could have overwatched them and just killed them. I think the Fire Dragons would have still destroyed the Cascaders, but it wouldn't have been. He wouldn't be getting critical hits on Val's team on 5+ because the Phoenix Lord Wolves by take Val's unit. I know. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. It's a short video because it was a very short game. I think it was over by the end of his turn 2. So, and that is Warhammer. Sometimes that happens. You can't help it. As I said, I knew from turn 1 it was pretty much finished. Once the 2 Castigators and Val's unit was gone, there was nothing really that deadly on the table. I think the only things I had left on the table was the multi-melter from the sister unit, the multi-melters from the immobilizer, the hunter killing missiles from the 3 tanks that were left, and that was it. And I fired the Rhinos hunter killers at the Falcon, nothing. So anyway, I will go back to the drawing board and rethink the sister list. I do think 3 units of Paragon Warsuits is the way forward because they can hold their own, they can be very deadly, and they can cover a lot of the table very quickly. Especially in this attachment. This is the flame attachment, I think it's Sacred Flame or something. It's basically they get assault on their weapons and they get +1 to wound if they're within 12 inches, I think it is. I'm not going to look it up, but it's something like that. They get another little buff as well. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. If you have any comments or anything, chuck them below as always. Any comments about my list or Mark's list, chuck them below. If you're new to the channel, see this for the first time, hit the subscribe button because it costs you nothing. Turn your notifications on so you don't miss anything. Everyone smash the thumbs up button so that triggers YouTube shares video of more people, which makes this incredible community of you guys grow even more. If you want to support the channel even further, there's a join button below. You can click on that and become members of the channel. There are different tiers with different perks. I appreciate every single person that becomes a member of the channel. So guys, thanks for watching. Hit the buttons for me. Until next time, take it easy.